Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with a free horse racing pick today from Gulfstream Park. But before we get to today's free selection, hopefully everybody's doing well and safe. As I said in our other opening video at the Tampa Bay Downs free pick, these are tough times we're going through right now. And, horse racing, hopefully it's bringing you a bit of a distraction for a few hours. Hopefully, again, everybody's safe and, staying inside. And thank God we have a bit of horse racing to keep us distracted. And it's been tough for everybody. Not just people in our industry, all the industries, trying to just cope with what's going on in the world right now. And hopefully the people that are doing the horse racing are safe. We wish them all the best and thank them for bringing us horse racing. It's through these tough times. Now, guys, I'm going to go through a bit of our record here last week, and also I'm going to talk about how I'm getting emails from clients saying, how do you bet your horse racing? And, I've been doing horse racing. I've been going to the track since I've been, like 17 years old. And I just love horse racing. If you're a follower here at atsstats.com, you see that we've given out free picks now for a couple of years in the horse racing section. So it's not just something I picked up along the way. I've been, one of my passions is horse racing. Once a year, me and my wife try to go to at least one major track around North America. The last couple of years, we've been to Woodbine, Arlington Park in Chicago, Tampa Bay Downs. Woodbine is, it's a great park that I go to a lot. But today, guys, we're going to talk about a free pick on Gulfstream Park. And, it's one of my favorite drivers when he was at Woodbine with Prado. And this is a sleeper guy, man. I'm telling you, the jockey's a sleeper. He's finally getting the recognition I think he deserves. And he's climbing the ranks. But before we get to that, let's take a look at our selections from last week. Pretty good, 96% in the money. If you see our headline, our picks have been 96 in the money. What exactly does that mean? It means that any of the three picks that we've given out last week, one of these three horses will either win, place, or show. They made money, and we've been having a really good run there last week. 96% of our picks are in the money. Gulfstream Park, 92.6%. Tampa Bay Downs, 96%. Our win percentage at Gulfstream Park was 55.5 compared to 69% at Tampa Bay Downs. We had a really good week at Tampa Bay Downs. As you can see, the exactas paid out in total $619. That's based on a $2 wager and $208 for trifectas, and total payouts was $1506 based on $2 wagers. Now if you're wondering, okay, Ron, how do you make your picks? Like I'm a recreational horse bettor. I bet whenever there's a Kentucky Derby, Preakness, or Belmont Stakes. I'm not really into it. And now there's people that are realizing that there's not much going on except horse racing. I'm going to show you how I do it. It works for me, but you really have to pick your spots. In horse racing, you can get a card with 12 races going at Gulfstream Park, and you can get a card with 7 races going. Tampa Bay has 8 races today. Gulfstream has 10, and you got to understand that every race is different, right? You got to race some will have 10, 12, 14 horses in a race. Others will have 3 or 4. Each race brings up opportunities. And the way, some of the way I do my handicapping is I follow exactly the race. And if I go to Gulfstream Park right now, one thing I like to look at is the purse. See where the biggest purse is, because normally the owners and the trainers, they want to get their horses in the top purses. And looking at the biggest purse today, I thought I saw 52,000 in the 6th race at Gulfstream, 28,000 in the 7th, 53 in the 8th, 51 in the 9th. These are big purses compared to other tracks, right? So that's one thing I look for right away. See where the big money is, and then I look at the owners and the trainers, and then it all works in together. And then I look at the drivers and the horses, right? As I said in the other video, you listen to coaches talk about players win championship. Well, it's the same in horse racing. Horses win races, and if you get a good driver on them, I always say winners win. And I like to follow horses. I like to follow the jockeys and the trainers to an extent. Like the trainers, I give maybe a 10 to 15% weight when I do my ratings on them in my decision making for when I pick horses. But for today, your free pick today, guys, I'm going to go to the third race at Gulfstream Park, and I'm going to go to my guy Edgar. Edgar was really good to me last week. If you remember in the videos, I said follow this driver, this jockey. I said he's going to get, and he got us a nice one last week in the 8th race. It was the 8th horse or 8th race last week at Gulfstream. I believe it was race 8 or 10. Anyway, he went off. He was morning line at 25 to 1, but I think he went off at 7 or 8 to 1, and it was a nice payout. We're going to go Corey Gal right here. This horse in 27 races, 30% of the time in the money. Now this purse is 27,000, so it's not a big race here today. According to it's probably be the biggest one at Tampa Bay Downs. But we're going to go with Corey Gal. He's 5 to 2 morning odds. Delgado's the trainer, and I'm gonna now. Again, how do I do my? You ask, like, I get the questions. How do you do your horse race? How do you do your picks? It all depends on the number of horses in the race. It all depends on the odds, and it all depends when I first do my picks. And there's a couple of handicappers that I like to see and track, see how they're thinking. And the one thing you don't want to get caught into is following consensus, because if you follow consensus, all the consensus sheets, they're always heavy top favorite, right? You look at the 3 horses that they always recommend, always like 3 to 2, 5 to 1, 4 to 1. So always heavy odds. And to me, if you're going to make money in horse betting, you got to buckle down and take some long shots. Now, in this race right here, again, because it's a 6-horse race, and I like the 3 horse, and I also like the 5 and the 6. Now, the 5, okay, he's 12 to 1. Now, because he's 12 to 1 morning line, and that's a good odds, I'm going to box him. Now, if it was, say, the 2, the 3, and say the 6, then I would only bet 1 horse here, because of those odds would not pay. But because I'm on the 3, the 5, and the 6, now the 5 is paying 12 to 1 and the 6 is 3 to 1. Now, let's say 5 comes in with the 3, like 3-5. Well, and if the 5 comes ahead of the 3, it's going to pay out nicely, right? And this is why I call double dutching. I like to double dutch my picks. I like to bet the 3 in this race to win into play. So this way, if he comes in second, we're going to get our place money, but it won't be a lot. It won't be a big payout because he's 5 to 2, right? He's probably going to go off at about 3 to 1, 2 to 1. But shell phone here, almost said cell phone. Shell phone, he's 12 to 1. He'd probably go off at 12 to 1, 13 to 1, 10 to 1. But if he comes in first and with the 3, it might be a nice little payout here for an exacta box, right? So let's bet the 3 horse to win into place. And also exacta box the 3, 5, and 6. So this way, if the 5 comes in with the 3 and the 6, and he comes in on top, then you might get a nice little payout, and hopefully we could cash in a nice little ticket. Again, guys, don't forget you can get my top plays each and every day at atsstats.com. I've got full race card at Tampa Bay Downs, 3 picks in each race, and I also got 3 picks in each race for Gulfstream Park, and I will have a link to some free picks below this video, and you can get the free picks at atsstats.com. But again, hopefully that works out for you. Stay safe. I wish all the horse racing industry guys who are out racing, to stay safe, and hopefully, thank them again for that 2-hour distraction that you bring us throughout the day, or 3 hours. It's tough times right now, and hopefully everybody is safe, and hopefully ATS Stats is able to be a little bit a part of your life and bring you some distractions. And hopefully you guys are, visiting our site, and, leave comments and feedbacks. We always encourage that and appreciate anybody who brings out feedback, because I do listen. Number one thing in business, listen to your people and your customers, because if they tell you something, that's because, there's something that probably needs to be addressed, right? So there you have it, guys. That's my free play today for, don't even know which day it is. I'm locked in, just forget my days here. Wednesday, March 25th. Hopefully that works out for you guys. Again, all the best and take care. Cheers.